Previously, Sonya joins as crew on our friend's Malo 42 sailboat to deliver it up the coast from San Francisco Bay to Blaine, Washington. We have a mix of exciting weather conditions, sail under a full moon, and even catch ourselves some salmon while offshore on the Pacific coast. We enjoy a short bit of spinnaker sailing as we head towards Cape Flattery, and the crew reflects on the trip so far.
Entering what they call the flat water portion of the trip now, which will be a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
I mean, we had our challenges, our battles around Cape Mendocino and Cape Blanco. We had good decisions. The crew was outstanding. The boat performed super well. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Hey, darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now.
We're hoping to get to Port Townsend by tomorrow morning, I believe. Chase is hopping off there. He's heading home. He's starting his second year of college in a couple days. And then Joe and I will continue from Port Townsend all the way to Blaine, Washington, where his boat's gonna live. This has been a great trial run for our trip that we're planning in April on Gemini. It just feels like it's so close, I can taste it, and I'm seeing how awesome this passage can be. You know, it's gonna be challenging, but it's also gonna be super rewarding, and I think we're gonna have an amazing trip. And that's just the beginning of our new cruising life. We're really, really close. You know, we've been doing coastal cruising the last couple years, and that's been awesome. We've really learned a lot. We've figured out what works, what doesn't on the boat. We've gotten a lot of experience, which has been great, but it's really exciting to be jumping into this new part of our lives of actually traveling and cruising and being on the move full time. So we're excited to do this trip soon. We're going to spend the summer up here exploring, circumnavigating Vancouver Island, and then we'll head back south. And then in the fall of 2022, we're going to be heading towards Mexico. So I get butterflies just thinking about it because it's so exciting, and we've worked super hard to get here, and I think we deserve it. Super lucky to have this kind of lifestyle, and super grateful to be able to bring you guys along for the ride and show what our life is like out here on the deep blue. There were mixed emotions on board as we approached the rocky point of Cape Flattery, peeking through the dense fog. The meditative silence was broken when we caught our third fish on the line, a great way to finish off the long ocean passage, celebrating the beginning of the flat water portion of the trip.
Looks like another salmon. Nice, it's a king salmon. Hell yeah.
Approaching Cape Flattery, heading inland, finally.
Yeah, right now we're coming, like we're right here. We'll go all the way here. And right down in here is Port Townsend. It's not shown. When we leave, we'll come up through here, and we're going to stay on the U.S. side and go right up here to Simeon. And it's kind of a straight shot.
Yeah.
Like right through all the San Juans.
Yeah, totally.
It's called Rosario Strait, where we're going to go through.
The sun finally peeked through the fog as we passed the entrance to the Strait of Juan De Fuca. We enjoyed some lunch as we motored towards Port Townsend. Tomato, cream cheese, onion, and homemade gravlax from the salmon that we caught. We are headed towards this point, which is a light at the point of this landmass here. And then you're going up this direction, and then around this way, and this is Port Townsend. So definitely nerve-wracking in the dark. I'm really glad that we have AIS. I don't think I would feel comfortable doing this. No, I know I wouldn't feel comfortable doing this at night without AIS. Pretty crazy. So I'm gonna keep paying attention to what I'm doing now. But super grateful for the technology we have nowadays. It's still pretty nerve-wracking to be out here. As you can see, you can't really see much in front of us.
Mantus Marine. Good morning. This is a pilot on board the Containership Express Argentina. We'll be overtaking you on your port side shortly. We're approximately 1.5 miles astern you. In about 5 minutes or so, we'll be overtaking on your port side, okay? We'll be about half a mile north of you.
Copy that. Thanks so much for the communication. I'm staying to the starboard side as much as I can, and thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, and I'll also be followed by another container vessel, the Westwood Rainier. You guys still have reduced visibility where you're at?
Yes, we do. I do have AIS, so I see both you and the other vessel. So yeah, I'll stay on my course, and you guys can pass on the port side.
Okay, thank you. Have a safe trip. Express Argentina standing by 13 and 5 also.
Thank you. Lorraine Marie standing by on 16. Over. That was nerve-wracking. That was the pilot of like a 600 or 700 foot vessel just chatting with me over the radio. I appreciate that they do that, because then I know that they see me and they're not gonna run me over. Alright, we've got a big container ship passing in the fog. It's going about 15.5 knots. We're now going about 5. We are coming into foggy Port Townsend. Can't even see the harbor in front of us yet. Apparently, it's somewhere ahead. As we made our way around Point Hudson, the fog magically cleared and revealed our destination straight ahead. After a nail-biting, foggy night dodging shipping traffic, it's safe to say the whole crew was relieved to be arriving to Port Townsend just as the sun began to rise. Good job, Captain.
That was a long run from Newport.
Yeah. That was what, like 4 days, 5 days? I don't even know anymore. It is so peaceful and quiet here. I know it's still early, it's 6:40, but I just get the sense that this is how it is in this town. Oops, we parked at the Coast Guard fuel dock. All right, we made it to the correct fuel dock this time. This is the public fuel dock, not the Coast Guard fuel dock. This is the Port Townsend boat haven. So we are going to chill here for another hour or so until they open. And then we'll figure out where our guest slip is for the day. And then we'll get some breakfast, hopefully, somewhere local. The friendly fuel attendant told us of his favorite anchorages in the San Juans. And then we went to find our guest slip in the harbor. Once settled in, we went to stretch our legs on land, walking through the boatyard to the Blue Moose Cafe, which the fuel attendant had recommended to us. Port Townsend was even more nautical and picturesque than I had imagined. We said goodbye to Chase, who was headed home, and went to explore the town and find some dinner. Although things were quiet because of the COVID restrictions, this tiny maritime community was bursting with nautical history and beauty everywhere we looked. The time has come to head on to Blaine, Washington. We've been in Port Townsend since yesterday morning, and now we are prepping to leave the harbor and head on to our last destination for the trip. Goodbye, Port Townsend. We will definitely see you again. You were an awesome little pit stop. I can't wait to bring Jack up here, show him this amazing place. As we left Port Townsend in our wake, we were once again engulfed in thick fog. We are heading just on the outside of the shipping lane, so we don't have to worry about big ship traffic. That is Joe's new harbor, so got a ways to go, but it'll be cool going through all these little islands, and then we're gonna come up and go to where that X is. Well, we woke up this morning hoping we would have a nice clear passage to Blaine. We were hoping to have some beautiful scenery along the way, but we pretty much motored into the thickest fog ever. So we can barely see like the bow of the boat. Well, we've got thick fog on one side, and then we look over here and we see an island. So that is Lopez Island off in the distance. The sun has finally peeked through the fog and it is so beautiful here. It's a Sunday, so people are out enjoying their weekend. There's a lot of boats anchored, a lot of boats on the move, a couple boats with their sails up. There's a big ship coming our way that we're hopefully gonna get past before he crosses us. We are about 30 miles away from the marina, so we should be getting there probably about 5 or 6 o'clock, we'll see. Which should be perfect because we've been told that it can be kind of difficult docking when there's a lot of current in the marina. So it's actually gonna be slack tide at about 5 o'clock, so that might be just perfect timing. The San Juan Islands were even more beautiful than I had imagined. Many of them untouched and rugged, with spotty beaches in between rocky outcrops and dense forests coming right up to the waterline. We deviated course through Rosario Strait to fish out some pesky balloons that were floating by. It's disheartening to see such beauty littered with mylar balloons that could easily entangle passing wildlife. The sun felt warm on my bare feet as we enjoyed the final stretch to Lorraine Marie's new home port. It's the last stretch. We're just a couple miles before we get to Blaine. I really can't wait to enjoy this area in April when we come up here. It's going to be hard to choose what to do and where to go. You could spend years up here and still not explore all of it. So if you have any suggestions or any recommendations of your favorite places up either in the San Juan Islands or up around Vancouver Island, we are hoping to circumnavigate the island. That's our general goal, but we really don't know exactly where we want to stop along the way. But if you guys have any other suggestions, leave them in the comments below because we'd love to know where we should stop. Not a bad backyard.
No.
That's for sure.
Crab pots over here. This must be.
Oh, yeah, I see them.
Good.
Nice. So there is Vancouver City. Blaine, Washington is only 1 mile from the Canadian border. All right, we are entering Blaine Harbor. We can see the US and Canada border. There's like a bridge right there. People have been following my sailing adventures up the coast. Our friends from Emery Cove that used to be our neighbors have since moved up here. They bought a boat up here and they just so happened to be staying for a couple months in the same marina in the slip right across from Joe's. So they gave us a lot of local knowledge, gave us some tips on entering the harbor, and they are waiting at the dock ready to catch our lines. So thanks, Suki and Chuck. Can't wait to see you guys. It's been awesome getting a little bit of insight into where we're headed, and we're stoked to be here. As we approached the marina, we saw our friends ready to catch our lines, waving us in the right direction. They even caught some great snapshots as we pulled into the slip, happy to have made it over 900 nautical miles safe and sound. All right, Lorraine Marie is in her new slip. Feels overwhelming and super exciting to have accomplished such a big trip. And now we're gonna go find some food before it gets too late, because we are hungry and slightly still out of it. So some food will be good. And then we'll come home and maybe visit with our neighbors here, Blue Marble Explorer. They know me from the Bay Area, and they just happen to have the slip right across from Joe. Wouldn't you know? Welcome home, Joe.
Thank you.
All right, flowers on the dock, celebratory dinner, welcoming committee, everything. I think you're off to a good start. The marina was way nicer than any marina I had seen in California, with beautiful flowers and top-notch facilities. We enjoyed some dinner in town to celebrate the completion of such a monumental voyage. At first light, I was aboard a flight home, traversing the distance it took us over 10 days to complete in only a couple of hours. I returned home with fresh-caught salmon to share with Jack and Fathom, who eagerly awaited my arrival back to the bay.